All right, welcome to a new type of video. I'm working on showing the design work that I'm working with for a new rooftop tent system, kitchen system, all in one. So this is conceptual design, basically honing in the general shape. So I did a little work in a previous video, and I kind of liked where I was going, except for I didn't like this profile view because it has that box shape that you can see right there on the corner, upper corner of the Jeep. So right here, I was making some changes and making some angles on the initial box so that it kind of matched the body of the Jeep, which has a slight slope to it from the mid-level up to the top inward. And then I started going through and adding a chamfer to the shape that I'd already kind of developed. And so what I was going for was just to kind of break it up and make it look a little more interesting. So I went with a 2-inch chamfer for most, like the sides and the top, and then a 1-inch chamfer on the bottom. I'm not sure that needed it on the bottom. I just like the way it looks a little better. Like it just looks better aesthetically. And I do want whatever I'm working on to not just look like it's a giant metal box. Because it's much more than that, and that's why I'm doing it that way. Forget exactly what I was doing right here. Just kind of playing with some ideas and looking at ways to kind of just add some details here and there. And since I've done this video, I've got some ideas. So initially, I was thinking a couple of vertical bars, and then there'd be a mounting plate on that plane that you see there. But I kind of like the idea of some round bar tubing wrapping around to just as a kind of open-ended ability to mount stuff to the thing, which kind of makes me think maybe I need to take the side walls and move them in by 1 inch or 2 on either side at that angle that's there, so that I have a little bit of space to add stuff and not extend out beyond the profile of the Jeep. But I also kind of think maybe it might be cool to have stuff sticking out beyond the profile of the Jeep as you're coming down. A couple gas tanks, a couple water tanks. Of course, it diminishes your gas mileage dramatically doing that, but aesthetics matter. So, and I mean, gas mileage matters in the long-term scheme of things, but some part of me just likes the coolness factor of having all kinds of gear, especially if it's actually practical. Of course, reducing your gas mileage is not practical. So in this bit, I'm playing with an idea of how do I want the tent, which is going to be a hard shell, because I've decided that after using a lot of soft shells, I don't like the soft shell. I think you're almost better off having a ground tent. So a hard shell has a bunch of limiting factors, one of them being like the size is a little harder to get, like a king size bed, things like that. But so I was just playing with my ideas, and I was splitting the top open, moving it around, and creating a recess and whatnot. I'm designing it around an 8-inch cavity, which for reasons that I think will become clear later, with a slide out after the hard shell opens, allows for about 4 inches of memory foam mattress, along with any bedding to be up in there, kind of compacted down. One of the big reasons I want to avoid working with a soft shell is because in the winter or colder weather, it's a royal pain to put it away and your fingers freeze. It's so much easier if you just pull the thing kind of down close, and then it has some kind of ratchet strap or mechanical tensioning mechanism that tensions the whole lid down and kind of holds everything together. So in the end, this is kind of what I came up with. I think that as a conceptual design, that's what I'm going to work with.